one quickly learns that the Jedi Code does not give all the answers. If you are to truly understand, then you will need the contrast, not adherence to a single idea.
With the recent debacle over Battlefront 2 with the loot boxes from hell, as well as the closing of Visceral Games, I think there is a long time until we see a great single-player Star Wars game. Hell, even a decent single-player Star Wars game. I gotta say, I expected more of EA. They even have BioWare, one of the greatest story-oriented gaming companies out there. And still, the future does not look good. But let me tell you, there was a time when Star Wars games were on the same level as any other game. And today, I'm highlighting one that you might have played. Kotor 2. Kotor 2, or Knights of the Republic 2 The Sith Lords, is a turn-based action RPG released in 2004 by Obsidian Entertainment. It is a follow-up to the successful original Knights of the Republic made by BioWare. The game takes place around 4,000 years before the movies, and 5 years after the original Kotor, but visually it is very similar to the Star Wars universe you already know. You are an exile of the Jedi Order, having lost the connection of the Force after disobeying the Jedi Council by fighting in a war without their approval. You quickly learn that the Sith have overpowered the Jedi in the galaxy, and you try to stop them by uniting the remaining Jedi or killing them and taking their power. This is the essence of the game, chasing down the Jedi across the galaxy. Obsidian quickly started developing this game a little while before the release of the first Kotor. They were contracted to make this game within 14 months, which is a pretty short time to make a 40-hour action RPG. As production went on, they were told by their producer that they would get an additional 3 months to complete the game and schedule a new time frame. However, as development continued, LucasArts went back to the original 14 months and compromises had to be made to the game. That is why the game released somewhat unfinished, with a few bugs, missing planets, and an unsatisfying ending. The game got overall great reviews, but some criticized the game for its unfinished state. However, years after the release, a group of modders came to the aid of the game and made a mod that would restore some of the cut content of the game, making it a better experience for players. Now, how do you make a great Star Wars story? Well, according to Obsidian Games, you use a writer that hates Star Wars.
But with Star Wars, you know, and I've said this before, like when we initially had the opportunity to do Star Wars, I wasn't really that excited about it. I'm like, Star Wars. And all I did was like, you know what, even though I have issues with this universe, maybe working on this game as a way to explore what those issues are.
With his vision to explore the things he always wondered about Star Wars and questioning the Force itself, Chris Avellone offers us an interesting and new perspective to the universe and its characters. Star Wars games, and especially the movies, just don't take that chance to go to the dark places of the universe, mentioning the negatives of the Jedi Code and the positives of the Sith teachings. It's a path Disney does not dare to take Star Wars to, because it will challenge audiences and scare away kids. But it becomes the greatest part of Kotor 2. On your journey in the game, you encounter different companions that will join you in your travels. These companions are the greatest strength of the game. Almost all of them offer compelling stories and an original outlook on the Force and the universe. One of the members of your crew is a wise grey Jedi who serves as your mentor for a majority of the game. As a Force user that have been both a Sith and a Jedi, she explains you the qualities of both angles. In this game, morality is key. Unlike other Star Wars games or movies, the story in this game isn't as simple as being evil or being good, but rather balancing the qualities of both. One of the great systems in this game is the influence system. You gain influence with each character in your squad if you agree with them or do something they approve of. As you gain influence with the different characters, they open up about their backgrounds and give you dialogue options that are otherwise locked. And if you get enough influence with a character, you can teach them the ways of the Force.
It's from their attackers. Yes, teach me the ways of the Force, General. Together, our enemies will fall.
One of the greatest features of the system is that by having enough influence with a character, you can turn them from the light side to the dark, or the other way around. It is simply astonishing to see one of your good guy light-sided friends become a Sith and follow you as a Dark Lord. And in some instances, the new alignment for the light or dark side can make them have different dialogue options, or make them act differently than they normally would. I can't imagine how much work was put into writing all that dialogue. and calculating all of the possible outcomes of the conversations, but the result is amazing. For me, this game is probably tied with Mass Effect 2 for having some of the best characters in the video game. They all have flaws, secrets and opinions that differ from another, making the experience that much better. But it is the added influence system that puts it over the top. Instead of a game like Mass Effect 2 where you have to complete one mission for your companion to gain their trust, here, gaining their trust is a long and tedious effort that gives you a way bigger rewards than a new ability and one new dialogue option. They gradually open up about their past experiences and draw more towards your alignment of the Force. Training them as Jedi offers a whole new gameplay perspective. When I first played through the game, I didn't even realize you could do this, and when I did, it opened the Pandora's box of different possibilities for the character arcs of my companions. When it comes to the combat, you can feel that the game is dated. It still works, but it does have a few annoying bugs and is fairly unbalanced. However, one thing I prefer from this game rather than Kotor 1 is that I feel much more powerful in this game than I do in Kotor 1. When you become more powerful and learn abilities like Force Storm, a group of 10 enemies no longer frightens you, as you can take them down in under 10 seconds. Maybe this is unbalanced, but it just feels so amazing to be that powerful, especially if you are running as a dark side character. The graphics are okay, but if you are playing this game, you are playing it for the story and characters, not the visuals. I'm not sure if I would recommend downloading the mod on your first playthrough. While it does offer some more in-depth story elements, it also makes the game harder by adding cut enemies, especially on the planet Nar Shaddaa. If you feel up to the challenge, I would say go ahead and play the mod. For me, it is always an easy choice, as I think the added story elements offer a lot more to the game. The game also does have a very slow start, but if you can get past that, you are in for a treat. Thanks for watching, guys. Kotor 2 is my favorite game of all time, and I think it deserves all the attention it can get. Be sure to check it out if you're interested. They just don't make Star Wars games like this anymore. I'm pretty sure you can pick it up from Steam for $10, an absolute steal. Hope you enjoyed this video of me talking about this masterpiece. If you want more, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Also, thanks to Jesus Gymnast for subscribing, and yeah, Corfin out.